It's easy to pick out the things in life that matter most, but keeping those things organized can be a real problem. That's where Tanya Tomlin, professional organizer and founder of Sort It Out, and Nicole Arnold, interior designer and founder of Nicole Arnold Interiors, come in. Between Tanya's passion for organizing and Nicole's eye for design, there's no telling how much a little structure and a lot of spackle can do. Welcome to Savvy, Wise, and Organized. And now, your hosts, Tanya Tomlin and Nicole Arnold.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Nicole Arnold. I'm here with Tanya Tomlin.
Hello.
Another episode of Savvy, Wise, and Organized. And today, our special guest is Jennifer Styers with LoveJenn. And Jen is going to tell us all about her matchmaking services. I'm so excited to hear about this.
I'm so excited to talk about love.
Yes, who isn't, right? Who doesn't want love?
Yes,
Right.
'Tis the season, right?
It is almost Valentine's Day, so
There
a
you
lot of
go.
pressure out there.
Yes. What, less than 30 days?
Yes, less than 30 days.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
feel like time just keeps zipping by. So thank you so much for tuning back with us. We're just so excited to talk about love today. So how did you get into this business?
I was kind of forced in by my clients. I coached a lot of people to get healthy and ready for love, and then they got out there looking for it, and they couldn't find it. Everybody else was either not healthy or they were just lost out there. And when you become healthy yourself, you want a healthy relationship.
Yes.
So they weren't willing to settle, so they came to me and kind of pushed me into it.
Wow.
So just
How
created a business.
long ago?
2013. So it's been
5 years, 6
yeah.
years?
Yeah, it's been a
Good
it's
for
been
you.
It's been a short time, but a long time, and it is a lot of work. People always say, "Oh, you're a matchmaker. That's so much fun. How fun!"
Yeah.
And I think, "Oh, it's really it's
Intense.
great when you find matches for people, and it's wonderful and fulfilling to watch people fall in love." But it's really hard work.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
they say that about our jobs too.
Yeah,
It
right,
all looks
right.
great at
Yeah,
the end. They
yeah.
don't watch the sausage
Yeah.
being made.
Right.
I would imagine that it's pretty intense too, because you're uncovering
Yeah.
things about people
Yeah.
that they might not have dealt with in past relationships. Having been divorced and remarried myself, I know that you got to work on yourself a little bit. So how do you get people to find love again?
Like ready?
Well, it starts with themselves. I mean, people always look, and that what happens is they say they're out there dating and they're like, I can't find anybody. What am I doing wrong? What am I looking for?
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong with my search? And it's not necessarily their search, it's them. It's who they are and what they're searching for based on where they are. And if they're not healthy, they're going to just attract other unhealthy people. So
Makes sense.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. So for me, it's doing that initial interview with somebody and then uncovering as fast as I can what it is that's preventing them from finding love, and just
Yeah.
listening to somebody with their patterns and what happened in previous relationships. You can pick up on it really quick, and that's where people really need to look, is not so much what am I doing wrong in my search. I've been online, I've been doing this, what am I doing wrong? It's looking at yourself and saying, what are your patterns? What do you keep finding out there? And there's usually a theme. And
So
usually it's unavailable people. So because somebody's unavailable
Yeah.
for whatever reason they are.
Holding back something. So there's a big psychological approach to this that you're taking.
Of course yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I mean, there's so much involved in love.
You're not just pointing them to click here, go to this.
Right,
side,
swipe here, swipe there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because first, I don't do anything online at all. I have an online database, but I only use it to give my clients, some profiles for them to look at. But there's so much to it. I could show somebody the perfect person, give somebody the perfect person in front of them that is perfectly suited for them and their soulmates. But if they're not ready and they're not healthy, they'll do the same thing. They'll push them away. They'll bring their patterns in that won't work. So it is really, really important that everybody's healthy up front before, they meet somebody. And people online need to be thinking about that too.
I think that's such great advice too for people who might be tuning in, that, if you're looking in the wrong places, it's sometimes hard to look at ourselves.
Sure.
And, I think in my work too, I find that it's not about the clutter. It's about what's going on inside
Right.
here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, death, divorce, having a baby, you know, all those major things that happen in life. It's not really about things being messy. We want to fix it for them, but I think where we try to find a balance is, you know, letting go of some things that might rid them of those old memories. So I imagine, you know, and same with design too,
Absolutely.
you know, getting rid of
it's never what's at surface value.
Yeah.
Never.
So we all have such an interesting connection
Clean it
with,
out.
Yes.
I mean, really, that's
Clean
what
it
it's
out.
about. I mean,
And
there
then
has to be
rebuild
a
it.
thing in your business with clutter. There's no space for anything else.
Right.
I mean, in somebody's life, and it's the same thing when you're emotionally, you know, you're emotionally a mess.
Or unavailable.
Right.
Sometimes people emotionally unavailable, not letting somebody in.
Sure.
I could see.
But that's a mess too.
Yeah.
You clean that mess out, you create space for other things to come, and it has to be the same in your business. But that is love. I mean, you've got to find that space and have it open. If you don't have healthy boundaries, if you don't have a healthy outlook, if you don't know what you're looking for, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you need, you know, so many women, especially, I think women do it more than men, they lose their identity in relationships.
Yeah.
So there has to be a strong identity built. And sometimes that happens later in life. I mean, I'll get women in their 40s and 50s that have been married already or divorced once, twice.
So true.
And then finally they had lost themselves in their marriages, and it's like, who are you? Everybody should do that. Man, woman, kids.
Yes.
I have some of my clients go home with their kids and do that identity. Who
Right.
am I? You know, make a list. Try figuring out, you know, and looking at, because we change. Even if you did an I am list,
Right.
I always tell people about 100 things. You know, what are the things the words that describe you? And even people that have done it should go back and do it, because we change so much.
Right.
And if you don't know who you were in this marriage is not who you're going to be in this marriage. Who you
Yeah,
were in
it's
this
so true.
relationship is not going to be. I mean, even our friendships are different.
Right.
So you've got to know going in and be solid on that. This is who I am. This is what I want. And even with coaching, I find that when people are aware of who they are and what they need, I don't have to tell people to move away from a relationship. They will do it on their own. They will realize when they be like, well, I've done the work. I know who I am and I know what I need, and this is not what I need. I just put this together and you're everything but. You know, and it's glaring in their face.
That's so helpful, because then they're not going to waste precious time.
No.
If, you know,
Well,
you want to be
she's
happy.
taught them how to fish now, right?
Right.
So to speak.
Exactly.
You're not doing
Giving
it
them
for
the tools.
them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the
So
key
cool.
to everything in life, is that clarity. As soon
Right.
as you're clear on what you want, when what you don't want shows up, it is glaring, and you need to rid yourself of it.
Yeah.
So you help identify these obstacles, if you will, or these roadblocks. Are you also teaching them how to overcome them, or do you refer them to how to do that? What does your role encompass with your
all
client?
of it. I mean, we do it all. The uncovering's the easy part, really, for me.
Yep.
After so many years of doing it,
Yeah.
that's the easy part. Then we work through how do we change it.
Got it.
And it's an interesting process. People are all different in
Habit
how they go
changes.
about it. Some people change like this. Once they're aware, and once you give them the tool and you show it to them, they're like, oh, I see it. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that it literally, like people have to move at their own pace. And but what my clients always tell me is they wake up one day and they realize they're completely different people. They don't know when it happened, they don't know how it happened, but who they were is completely
That's life changing for them.
changed, transformed.
Yeah.
So and
So great.
then they're ready. Then they're ready. So and everybody's at a different pace.
Yeah.
I think that's so interesting too, because I've had the pleasure of one of my good friends is working with you, and I'm so thankful for that, because I just want, you know, my friends, my clients, everyone just to be happy.
Of
And
course.
Yeah.
when you are able to identify, and I get to hear all about it on the other end,
Right.
it's just, you know, it's so helpful for people, because they don't know where to go.
Right.
And some people aren't going to go to the internet. They're not. They want to work on themselves.
Right.
And so I'm so appreciative of having a resource like you to be able to, you know, share with friends, you know, family, clients, I mean, it's just so interesting.
Well, thank you for doing that. And I think the one thing that's so important for everybody is that they listen to their family and friends.
Yes.
So many times people don't listen.
Yes.
And you have to say their motive is they love me. That person loves me. If they're not toxic in your life, if they love you, they want what's best for you. So you listen to the people that love you.
I think that's great advice because we see it on the outside, but then it's like you have an expert that comes in and tells you, you know, this is how, like, I could say it all day long, but
yes,
if you have an expert like yourself that comes in and says, hey, look, we got to draw the line here. You know, this is not healthy for you.
Right.
And you see it from a different perspective than we do. We love, you know, our clients too. We have a lot of clients that are single and looking, and, you know, we want them to find the right tools.
But hindsight's always 20/20. If anybody's ever dated the wrong guy or girl, right? And we all have. Who were the people that were saying that's not the right relationship for you?
Usually
then you go back and you go, those were the people I needed to listen to. So listen. Yeah.
So do you, I can't imagine being out there in the dating world right now because it just seems so complicated compared to back when I was dating in my 20s and all that. But do you work in tandem with people using online sites, or do you shy away from those and have a pure method? Or tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there are a lot of people online. I work closely with Match.com as a relationship expert for them.
Okay.
But it's a different kind of relationship. I'm not an online expert. I can give online advice. Match gives me all of the info that I need and the insider info and how people are using it and what they need to do. So I can help people from an advice standpoint. Do I want to get online? Have I done it? I have. I've helped people try to navigate online. And it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's just, it is a mess out there. I mean, God bless all the people that do it, because it is a full-time job. I mean, I really do think so. It's a full-time job. Women, if women are going to do it, they need to be more active. Women get on online dating and they sign up and they just wait for emails to come in. It's like it doesn't work that way. The algorithms work if you work. So women need to be more active. They need to be looking and emailing and very, very active. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Okay.
That's interesting advice for people who are watching that, you know, if you're working at it and not just posting and then waiting, you know, there's some connection there.
Yeah, no, there is an algorithm for that, and the statistics show, and Match has so much science behind what they do, which I love.
Yeah,
I love all the research that they do, but the science shows that if women don't work at it, they're not active on their going after the men that they find interesting, even if they don't have to, you know, hit on them.
Yeah.
But you can literally say, hi, loved your profile.
Yes.
Something authentic.
Yeah.
You know, hey, great pictures. You know, oh, I love your dog. I had a dog like that. You know, just anything.
Any interaction at all.
Any interaction just to let a guy know that you're interested. And that goes for offline too. I mean, men need to know also. Men don't mind approaching. It's what they're used to. Do they love it? No. Would they love a buying sign from a woman? Yeah. You know, a wink, a smile, catching their eyes.
Yeah.
Let a man know you're interested if you see him out.
Yeah, that's great advice for people, you know, watching.
Absolutely. It's tough to navigate. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I think it'd be really overwhelming. You know, I remember back in the days, about 10 years ago, I was divorced, and obviously I'm remarried now, but I just remember going on Match.com, and I thought, oh, wow.
You're probably what creeps are going to come I get after
and you know, off. And then having, you know, 2 young children, I just finally was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't, you know, I can't imagine meeting a stranger, bringing him into my home. You know what I mean? It was just, it's such a weird feeling, and I can't even imagine what that would feel like. So,
well, and 10 years later, it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, really, women and men need to be very careful online.
Yeah, for sure.
People misrepresent themselves.
They do. Fraud is at its all-time high.
Yeah.
It is frightening what's happening out there. You know, it's funny, Matt, they have meetings all the time, and how do we connect people?
Yeah.
They're so love focused, and their technology people are so fraud focused.
Oh my God.
So
Right.
it's an interesting combo. So the brand loves love, but the tool for using it is tricky. So
Right, I can
women
see
and
that.
men just need to know they need to be smart. There's a lot of fraud, and men get hit on with fraud just as easily, especially
Right.
widows
Sure.
and things like that. So
that's,
yeah,
that's so helpful to know that. Just to, they probably have maybe safe meeting places or
Oh,
something like that.
of course. I mean, you
Yeah.
never want to have a man come to your house on a first date.
Yeah.
Hooking up. There's so much hooking up going on. I mean, number one,
Yeah.
your safety. You don't know what
Right,
you're
right.
getting hooking up with somebody. Number two, your body.
Yeah.
You only have
Yeah.
one.
Not
I
good.
mean, if somebody's hooking
That's
up with
so
you on a
crazy.
first date, they're hooking up with a
A
million
lot
other
of
people.
other first people. Yeah.
Oh, that's so scary. I can't even
So
imagine.
you build your own profiles, you were saying.
Yeah.
Or you have your own,
Oh,
or
I
maintain
do. I
your
have my own online
profiles?
profiles. Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're very different from online. They're more about here's my lifestyle, here are my values, here are the things I believe in, here are the things that are important to me. Do I want more kids? I mean, do I have any kids? Do I want more
Yes.
kids? They're the important questions. They're the important questions people need to know about each other. And I only use the profiles after I've matched. So if you were a client and I had found a gentleman for you, I would shoot you over his picture and profile so that you could look at all the details and then make a decision. And then I talk to my clients about it and say, okay, here's the guy. What questions do you have? Let me tell you what I love about him for you, and blah 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 blah. So it's a much more personal process.
Tell us what happens when you make a potential connection.
Yeah, I was just
So
going to
you-
ask
oh,
that.
Okay,
I'm like
good.
so
Good thing you said
excited
that.
to
Like,
hear.
what's the result?
Yes.
Yeah. So you find two people that you think are compatible, if that's the word I can use, and you connect them and say, hey, give it a try or whatever. What happens? Do they have 30 days to see if it works, and then if not, you give them somebody else, or how does that all work?
Well, we try to keep it as organic as possible in setting up that first date. We try to still put it in the gentleman's hands so that he can reach out and do it. I say try to look at me like a friend versus a matchmaker or a business. I don't want it to feel transactional. I want it to feel authentic. So I have the man reach out to the woman personally. They set up the date. I do give hints. I know where the woman wants to go. I know what she likes, so I'm going to tell that guy ahead of time.
Yeah, as a friend would.
As a friend would.
As a friend would.
Yeah.
Unless the guy's really amazing, like as far as planning. Like I have a couple clients that are in the creative business, and I wouldn't dare touch their dates. They know what they're doing.
Good.
And they will plan a way better date than we ever could.
Yeah,
But then it just unfolds organically. There's a connection. There's not if there's not a connection. I usually, if somebody comes to me after first date and says, I had a really good time, we talked for 4 hours, loved it, just not sure if the chemistry is just not there, I'm like, second date. Go on a second date. Because research shows that love like that, like real love, doesn't happen instantaneously.
Okay.
So it takes more time. So
go on a second date.
Go on a second date. And so people usually go on a few dates before they decide it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Or it is happening.
Yes.
So
And then you try to find another suitable companion, or okay. So what's an average relationship that you have with somebody over time? Length of time.
Length of time. Majority of people find somebody in about 6 months.
Okay.
And it also depends on their openness.
Yeah, for sure.
The clients that don't find somebody right away or quickly, people are probably being too picky. They're saying,
Too selective.
Too selective.
Or they have more work to do.
Yeah.
Usually
like
it's like
peeling back the onion.
Yeah, exactly. For me to say, remember, you didn't really want this kind of guy, this type A, the narcissist. This was the guy that you found on your own. I'm finding the nice guy. I'm finding the guy that's more suited for you, that's kind and loving and compassionate and all those things that you said you wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have actually had clients say, well, I don't want that. I want this.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Right.
So that would
Interesting.
when that happens, when they want to go back to their old pattern, that's when it takes longer.
Yes.
Right. Well, I know we have just a couple minutes left, so I am just I think this is just such an interesting topic because
we're girls. That's why.
I mean, yeah. Well, and we're helping people get what they want by bringing these different resources. So I think that this is why it's so interesting to me. And being that Valentine's Day is coming up, it's like maybe after Valentine's Day. I don't know if there's lots of breakups before or after Valentine's Day, but it's like a new year, fresh start. So. How do people find you if they wanted?
I was wondering that too.
Yeah.
You can tell we've been doing this show for a little while, right?
Yes. Thinking way too much alike.
Right.
My website is LoveJenn with 2 N's, lovejenn.com. I'm on social media on Facebook under my name, Jennifer Styers. I do have a business page, but I always use my personal. And I post every day. I encourage people to follow me on Facebook because I do post. I do coaching for them. It's free. I give good advice. I give people things to think about. I've had plenty of people, hundreds of people actually over the years that have said just by following my page, they've been able to change their patterns.
That's so awesome. So that you're making a difference in other people's lives and you don't even know that.
I want to. I mean, I want to. Not everybody can afford my services. So what I want is I want to be able to help everybody in whatever way I can.
Yeah.
And that's so authentic of you to be able to, just when you have a passion for something that you just really are helping people find love and that you have something to do with that. I think that's
and
just
loving
amazing.
Themselves too. I mean, I think that's the key. Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited to see what you're going to do with my friend and just
Me
all
too.
the work.
I love her. Follow-up episode.
Yes, I know. I'm dying.
That'll be fun.
I want her to find love so bad, and I love and adore her.
I think you want it more than she does.
I do.
She has become she's become so at peace now. It's awesome. She's in such a
in a
peaceful
short amount of time that you guys have been working together, and I have to say this because she's willing to do the work, and
she's done it.
And we're really, really close. Yeah. So I can see it. And I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Because
I'm
awesome.
And this all happened because of networking. And I followed you on Facebook for a long time.
Wow.
And probably about 10 years.
Wow.
At least. We have some mutual friends, and then
you're the quiet one.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
She's the creeper.
But right. Stalking her Facebook page. No, but I love watching people grow in their businesses and their space, and I'm so happy to be able to provide a resource.
Yeah.
Not for people that are just watching, but actually people in my life that I can help. And so, if there's anybody that's watching here today that you want to find more love, I encourage you to find Jen. So, what is your website?
LoveJenn.com.
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 Okay.
Yes. So thank you again for joining us.
Sure.
It's been a
Thanks
pleasure.
for having me. We could do this all day, couldn't we?
I know.
And great questions. Nicole and I have just so much fun together and just bringing you these resources. And I just thank you again for watching, and tune in again next Tuesday for Savvy, Wise, and Organized. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Savvy, Wise, and Organized. To find out more about Tanya or how she can help you organize your space, visit her website at www.sortedout.com. To find out more about Nicole or how she can help you with your interior designs, visit her website at www.nainteriors.com. And if you want to hear more from Savvy, Wise, and Organized, subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. From all of us at Savvy, Wise, and Organized, thanks for listening.